it is time to finally rank Ozzy Osbourne's solo albums from my least favourite all the way to my favourite. I've been on this channel, 5 years? 5 to 6 years, something crazy like that. And I've not once ranked Ozzy's albums. Now, this is going to be a fun one. It's going to be one for the ages. But disclaimer, I've not been into Ozzy Osbourne for all that long, really. His solo stuff, a lot of the albums I heard just recently for this video. So I'm going in with a fresh perspective. So bear that in mind with this review and ranking. I've not been with them from the start. So yeah, there you go. Disclaimer out of the way. Let's get in with the meat and the juicy stuff of the ranking. Before I do, pop your own down below. Starting off, I'm going to say the Undercover, the Covers album. I'm not really going to cover it. Wait, it's fun. It's good. I do like the covers on it, but cover albums just really are going to be last on every single band list. And it's last here. Yeah, the performances are good, but it's a covers album. What more can I say? You know, it doesn't feel like a real album. So, let's get in with the proper worst album, and it is Ordinary Man. Okay, Ordinary Man. This is the second to latest album by Ozzy. Getting on in age, and the vocals definitely show on this album, but for some reason, you know, Patient 9, the album after this, I like the vocals a little bit more. And I feel like that album's really superior to this one. This one is bold, I'll give them that. Very bold, a lot of collaborations with different artists on this album. Even Elton John makes an appearance on the title track, Ordinary Man, which is a solid song. That's probably my favourite song on the album, even though it doesn't really fit thematically with Ozzy. Like, this album is just kind of crazy. It's all over the place. There's rap in it. Travis Scott. It's just, I didn't like that at all. This album is not for me. It's bold. I respect the choices. I respect the artistry and the music, but it just isn't an album for me. It's very poppy in parts, rap elements in parts. It just doesn't mesh well, and I'm not a big fan. But I do respect it. Next up, oh boy. Next up with a flag waving around is Scream. I do not like this one. I do not like this one. This one, yes, it's heavier. It's more metal. But my god, the songs annoy the shit out of me on this one. Like, what have I written down? The first song, Let It Die. Oh my god. What a terrible way to start an album. It sounds like George of the Jungle as it starts the song. It really does. And then it comes in with just the worst goddamn melody. And it has like this kind of weird, almost gangster rap style of the singing. This stop-start kind of thing. And I just hate it. I hate it. Really bad start. Let It Die. Let this song bloody die. Let Me Hear You Scream comes next, which has just got this god-awful chorus. And it sounds very new metal. Like, a lot of this album sounds like it's just copying a lot of new metal tropes and riffs and just vocal styles. It just doesn't feel like Ozzy. It doesn't feel like Ozzy. It doesn't feel like Sabbath. It doesn't feel metal. Yes, it's heavy, but the style of it just doesn't work for me. Like, the chorus sounds like a Kiss song. And I love Kiss, but not for Ozzy. Not Ozzy singing this style. You know, Kiss can get away with it. You know, but Ozzy can't. So, trash. Life Won't Wait sounds like it's too happy-go-lucky. It sounds like it could be on like a gardening commercial. I dislike that song as well. This album I dislike probably more than Ordinary Man, but the reason it's slightly higher is because Ordinary Man just isn't for me. This one is for me, but it's trash. So, there you go. Don't like this one at all. Next up is Black Rain. This is another fun, heavy album, and I like this album. So here on out, I like all these Ozzy albums. It's just preference of where I place them. This has nice, meaty riffs within the music, and even some, like, funk segments in some of the songs. Like, I Don't Want to Stop is such a chunky and just meat field. Field? Yeah, feel your meat. over this song. It's that damn good. Yeah, it's very meaty riff, chunky, and I love it. I like it a lot. The Almighty Dollar is the one which sounds kind of funk. You know, if you re-listen to that song, it sounds pretty funky. Not sure I like the style of it, but it's definitely interesting and unique. It has its heavy moments on this album. It also has the softer, more ballady moments as well, which I'm hit or miss on this album. I don't think the ballads work quite well on this album, but I think the heavy songs and the fast songs do work. So it's kind of like a 50-50 split with me, but more good than bad. So overall, Black Rain, I enjoy it. It's low on the scale, but I still enjoy it. Ozzmosis is next, and Perry Mason to kick off the album. Such a fantastic song. The weird vocals are cool as well. The kind of like effects on his vocals give it a cool, creepy atmosphere. Very cinematic and operatic, almost, this album is. I've heard some people say that after Perry Mason it kind of falls off, but there's some pretty good songs after that as well. Like Mr. Jekyll Doesn't Hide, such a cool song that one is. It has to me anyway, it has a kind of grungy aesthetic to this style. Operatic and grungy is a weird mix right there, but it sounds like that to me, and I enjoy it. I think this is a fairly solid album, and I like it more than the ones I just said previously. Also, Zakk Wylde doing a great job on guitar on this album, so hats off to him. Next up is Down to Earth. This is one of the better, newer style Ozzy albums. Crunchy, has an edge to it, just has some grit and power behind it. Really enjoy this album quite a bit, actually. And the bass work on here is fantastic. Dreamer is a really nice ballad. Usually I'm not big into ballads, but that ballad hits the nail on the head. Facing Hell is pretty meaty and pretty heavy as well. Really like that one. That I Never has a really cool riff. And Black Illusions is really reminds me of Sabbath. It's kind of doomy, that song. And I enjoy that. That's my favourite song on the entire album. So overall, thoroughly enjoyed it. Didn't think anything was going to be really that special later in the career, but, you know, this album surprised me. Next up is Patient number 9. Like, oh my god, the latest album being this high, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's such a step up from Ordinary Man. Every song captures my attention. There's a lot of collabs, but they're not as just, you know, jarring as the last album. You've got collabs with Tony Iommi, you know, bringing the Sabbath boys back together. Zakk Wylde, again, coming back. And also Eric Clapton on a song, Guitar God. Like, the collabs on this one, just way better. Smokes the shit out of collabs on the last one. And they're all fantastic. They're heavy. Some of them sound doomy. Some of them sound ripped straight out of Black Sabbath. Really, really enjoy this album. I mean, the song Immortal even has a How can you not enjoy it? It has a as it starts the song. Even Jeff Beck, I forgot to mention Jeff Beck. Fantastic songs throughout the title track. Title track is bloody amazing. The Eric Clapton song has a great groove to it as well, and then the solo is just so beautiful. Face melting. I love the solo. And then Great Degradation with Tony Iommi is just doomy and just dirty, and I love it. It's chunky and even has a harmonica. Come on. Bloody 2 thumbs up for Patient number 9. Fantastic new album. Next up is No More Tears. This is a great album. A lot of people have this a lot higher. I think it's great, but a bit overrated. There's some songs that stand out, but there's others that I'm kind of like, eh. But the songs that stand out really stand out. First one, Mr. Tinker Train, is just, come on. What a way to start the album. So catchy, so fun and progressive. I love that song. Don't Want to Change the World is fun as well. Madman Coming Home is a cute little ballad. That one's, yeah, it's pretty cute. But then you got like Hellraiser. Bloody Barnstormer. Hellraiser is a fantastic song. And they even, you know, redid it with Lemmy himself. So yeah, bloody love that song. And No More Tears, the title track. Absolute classic, essential Ozzy song right there. So yeah, I love this album. It's great, but I do feel like some of the ballads on there I'm not big into. So as an overall piece of work, it's coming here. Now on the flip side, No Rest for the Wicked is next, and this is the most consistent album. Consistency is key, and this is consistently fucking great. The whole album has this kind of classic rock, classic heavy metal style, does not let up, no steam is lost when listening to this album. Full throttle ahead. It's not as heavy as some of the others. It's not as crazy guitar work, but it's just so consistently good with every single song. And I put a smile on my face whenever I listen to it. Like Miracle Man, kick-ass way to start the album. The computerized voice makes it really cool as well. Bloodbath in Paradise. Love the story of that as well, about the Manson murders. Really cool song. Fire in the Skies, great. Hero, I love. That's one of my favourite songs on the album. Just overall, just banging every single song. Pure classic rock and roll goodness, and I love it. Next up is the debut, Blizzard of Oz. Wow, it's only here. It's only here. I know. I love it though. It's great. But it is a little... It's kind of the same as No More Tears. There's some absolute classics, and then there's some other songs which are... Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. It's not completely amazing all the way through, but the songs that are good, come on. They're fantastic. Like Mr. Crowley, come on. Crazy Train, come on. Suicide Solution is fantastic as well. And Revelation, that song is probably my favourite. It's the longest one. It has like a cool progressive kind of edge. I love that song, and it's the best one on the entire album. Really great album. I just feel like some of the other ones are just more consistently amazing, but the amazing songs within this one are really amazing. But I do feel like they stepped up with the next one, which we'll get to. Also, I forgot to mention Randy Rhoads' guitar is fucking phenomenal. Randy Rhoads, what an absolute legend, and he's only on 2 albums here, and this is one of them, and he definitely shines. Next up is Bark at the Moon. I almost flip-flop these albums around, but I feel like Bark at the Moon just, I don't know, it grabbed me a little bit more for some reason. The title track, Bark at the Moon, one of the best sing-along Ozzy songs. Really ferocious, love it. Rock and Roll Rebel is catchy and fun. Center of Eternity might be my favourite on here. I love the kind of Maiden-esque gallop of that song. That's stuck in my head right now. And then, Waiting for Darkness. What an epic closer Waiting for Darkness is. Yeah, this is overall, I think, better than the debut. And it's right here. Number 2 is The Ultimate Sin. Some people dislike this album. Ozzy himself doesn't like the way it's produced. The production is a bit hard to hear. The drums especially. But the songs are killer. This is just, in my opinion, like the heaviest album. And I feel like so consistently good. There's no skippable tracks. I love every single song on this album. And the artwork is so cool with a demon Ozzy. That woman, I love the art. I love this album to pieces. I don't understand why people don't. The theme's so dark as well, and it has like a foreboding theme throughout the whole album. Title track with its marching riff is so catchy and good. Secret Loser keeps the intensity with an amazing solo as well, and the solos on here, phenomenal. Never Know Why. The solo at the end, like the outro solo that fades out. I love any song that does that, so 10 out of 10 for that song. Thank God for the Bomb. Some people really dislike that song. I think it's catchy and fun. I think that's a fun fucking song and a headbangable kind of riff. So overall, I love this album. I almost put it number 1, but I can't quite, because that's saved for Diary of a Madman is my favourite Ozzy album, Randy Rhoads' last album, and my God, his guitar playing on here is magical. Fucking hell. From the debut to this, you can see the progression. You can see him shine, like, way more on this album. And the production's better. The songwriting's better. Everything's better on this album. If you have the debut over this, you're fucking wrong. Like, you're entitled to your own opinion. But my opinion is Diary of a Madman smokes the shit out of the debut. Holy crap. I fucking love it. Over the Mountain. One of the greatest metal songs of all time. Holy shit, the solo in that. Mind-melting. Flying High Again, rock. Catchy anthem, metal anthem. You Can't Kill Rock and Roll. I fucking love that song as well. The guitar sound is so clean, so amazing. 10 out of 10. Believer is a banger with a classic riff. Sato is underrated as hell. That's one of my favourite songs on the album. And then the title track, Diary of a Madman. Amazing. This album is all killer, no filler. Every single song has its place. Every single song is so fun to listen to. And it's easily number 1. Easily number 1 for Diary of a Madman. Hopefully you enjoyed this ranking. Let me know if I've forgotten anything. Knowing me, I probably fucking have, but here it is anyway. Hopefully you enjoy most of these albums. Let me know your own ranking down below, and we'll see you again on another quest for metal.